Let's show you all of the weapon secrets in Battlefield 5, from the funny, bugged and glitched ones like this one, to the actual underused and unknown ones in the rest of the game. Here we have the show SHAR, which when you use any of the EEE magazines, for some reason it puts an invisible magazine on the end of your gun, which is just, look at it. Here we have the M1 carbine, which has 3 different iron sight variants. You've of course got the front post and the rear guard on the gold sight without the ring. You've then got the front and rear guard with the ring, and of course it covers up more of your vision on the rear guard. And you've also got one which you can find which has no rear guard, which means it only has the front post. Here we have the glitch sight with the M1907 SF, which removes the rear guard, which makes it a very more clear and visible sight, which you can see here when changing it. You now have the rear guard involved. Again, it's not as clean and not as nice to look at or to use. Then we have the STG. You've got the gold variant, which is different to any of the normal iron sight variants, and I very much prefer the gold sight. Then we're going to move into the M2 carbine. You've got 2 different sights. If you choose this is the normal one, and if you choose the EEE one, you can see that the reticle is actually bigger, and I think this does change your FOV or makes the screen wider somehow. The Sten is very unique because you can change the iron sight depending on the different type of muzzle which you choose, which you can see here. You have 3 different variants with gold, the one I used at the start, which is my preferred one and favorite one, which is why I don't use a full gold camo set for this gun, because clearly the muzzle there on the gold is not as clean as using one of the other ones. Now the Sumi has an invisible magazine when you go with any of the EEE versions. Now my opinion is, if you can choose anything which makes the gun smaller, or invisible, then there's less gun blocking your screen, your visibility is going to be better. Of course, this doesn't make a massive difference here, but again, it's invisible, it's pretty cool, it's funny, it's unique. The MP40 here, the gold sight, has no ring compared to any of the other ones in the game. So again, really cool and unique. You don't see people use it. You've got 2 different iron sights on the Tommy gun here. Look at the rear guard on there on that one compared to this one. Look how much cleaner this one is, and I never see anybody use this. This might make you want to use the iron sight on the Tommy gun for once. Next, we've got the Type 97 machine gun. You'll see that any sight other than the AA sight is mounted on the left side of the gun, whereas the AA sight, you can see, is mounted on the right side of the gun. Now this can be very important, of course, if you use cover a lot to lean left or right, because if you lean right a lot, typically like I do, then if the AA sight, the magazine is on the left, and therefore it's not going to be blocking your vision when you're leaning to your right, to stop you from being able to see more enemies. Here we have the figurehead sight on the Madsen, which removes the rear guard. Now look how much more clean this is, and you can actually only buy this sight from the armory in the figurehead set. So this is very, very special and unique. The Lewis gun, we've got this sight here, I'm not sure which one it is, but you can only get this sight when you have the bigger magazine specialization. You can see here, once I've removed the bigger magazine, look, you don't get the option to have that sight. So that is a specific and unique sight to only a certain specialization set. And secondly, if you change the barrel of the Lewis gun, you can see that you've got 2 different variants, one of which is much thinner, and obviously there's less of the gun when you choose it, for example there, and you'll see when you do use it, it doesn't make a huge or massive difference, but again, the same principle which I always talk about. If you can make the gun, which is blocking your vision on the screen, smaller in any different way, then you got to do that. It's not going to affect the performance by changing a different barrel. That's purely a visual effect. So you can actually gain a benefit by making the gun look smaller. Here it's just 2 different variants of the Bren. You've got the normal iron sight and you've got the gold sight, which you've got like a fork. And then lastly, you've got the Kar 98 with the ring sight, and you've got one which removes the ring sight, which is again way more cleaner, and you don't see anybody use it. That's all the weapon secrets which I've managed to find in Battlefield 5. Please smash a like, and I'll see you on the next video.